Picture this, you're in your late 50s, maybe early 60s. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You fumble for a word that's right on the tip of your tongue. You see a news story about dementia, and a quiet, cold thought passes through your mind. Is that my future? Or maybe you're watching your parents age, and you see the little stumbles, the forgetfulness, and you wonder if it's just normal aging or the start of something more. You tell yourself you should eat better, exercise more, do the crossword puzzle, but life is busy. It's easy to put it off, to think that the big scary things like Alzheimer's are just a matter of genetics and luck, that there's not much you can do. But here's what most people don't realize. That feeling of powerlessness is the biggest risk factor of all. Because while we can't change our genes, the science is now overwhelmingly clear that our daily habits have a monumental impact on our brain's future. This channel exists for one reason: to give you the knowledge about dementia early enough to actually do something about it, to replace fear with practical, actionable hope. If you want that kind of real, useful information, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. It helps this reach more people who need to hear it. For decades, the story we told ourselves about dementia was a story of inevitability. It was something that just happened to some unlucky people as they got old. A slow, unstoppable fade. Families watched it happen. Doctors managed symptoms as best they could, and the general advice was to just hope it skipped you. But that story is changing, dramatically. Because over the last 20 years, researchers haven't just been looking for a cure for dementia, they've been studying the people who don't get it. They've been following thousands of lives for decades, tracking everything from what people eat to how many friends they have to how they handle stress. And a stunning picture has emerged. It turns out that dementia, particularly Alzheimer's disease, isn't like flipping a switch. It's more like a slow leak, and our lifestyle is the bucket we put underneath that leak. Some buckets are strong and deep, and they can catch that drip for years, even decades longer. Other buckets are shallow and brittle. They overflow quickly. That bucket is what scientists call cognitive reserve. It's your brain's resilience, its ability to withstand damage and keep functioning. And the most powerful thing about this idea is that you build this reserve every single day through the choices you make. It's not built in a month. It's built over a lifetime. But the beautiful, hopeful part is this: it's never too late to start reinforcing that bucket. The habits we're going to talk about aren't about becoming a perfect health guru overnight. They're about understanding the levers you can pull, starting today, to give your brain the best possible fighting chance. Let's start with the habit that might be the most important and the most misunderstood: moving your body. This isn't about running marathons or getting six-pack abs. This is about something much simpler: consistent, moderate movement. Think about a parent or grandparent who became very sedentary after retirement. Maybe they stopped walking the dog, or gardening, or going out much. Often what follows isn't just physical stiffness. It's a foggy mind, less interest in things, a slower pace of thought. We might chalk it up to age. But what's happening inside is profound. When you are physically active, your heart pumps more blood, rich with oxygen and nutrients, to your brain. This isn't just fuel, it's like a gentle, constant shower that washes away metabolic waste, including the sticky proteins associated with Alzheimer's. Exercise also triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. You can think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps them grow, connect, and stay healthy. A person who takes a brisk 30-minute walk most days of the week is literally bathing their brain in a protective, growth-promoting cocktail. They are building a stronger, more connected network. So when the pathological changes of dementia begin, and for many of us, they will begin at some microscopic level, that person's brain has more roads, more detours, more resilience. The symptoms are delayed, sometimes for many years. Compare that to a sedentary lifestyle, where the brain's networks are more like a few fragile country roads. A single blockage can cause a major traffic jam. The goal isn't intensity, it's consistency. The habit is showing up for your brain in whatever way you can, almost every day. Now, let's talk about what you put on your plate. Diet advice is everywhere, and it's confusing. But when it comes to the brain, the research has converged on a pattern of eating that is powerfully protective. It's not a fad, it's the way people have eaten for centuries around the Mediterranean Sea. Lots of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, and olive oil. Fish a few times a week. Limited red meat and processed foods. This is often called the Mediterranean diet, or the mind diet, which combines it with elements known to protect the brain. Why does this work? Think of your brain as the most delicate, high-performance engine in the world. If you pour sugary sludge and inflammatory, processed fats into it, it will gum up, sputter, and rust from the inside. The chronic, low-grade inflammation from a poor diet is like a constant, quiet fire in your body, and your brain is especially vulnerable to that smoke. The foods in the Mediterranean pattern are anti-inflammatory. They are packed with antioxidants that put out those fires. The healthy fats in olive oil and nuts are the building blocks of your brain cells themselves. The leafy greens, spinach, kale, collards, are loaded with vitamins like folate and K that are directly linked to slower cognitive decline. This isn't about deprivation, it's about addition. The habit is making sure that more often than not, your meal is built around plants and healthy fats. It's choosing the salmon and the salad more often than the burger and fries. It's snacking on walnuts instead of chips. You're not just feeding your stomach, you're choosing the clean, high-octane fuel for your brain. The third habit takes us out of the body and into the mind, lifelong learning. This is where the idea of cognitive reserve is built in the most direct way. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies. But use it or lose it is too simple. It's not just about doing crossword puzzles, though those can help. It's about novelty and challenge. It's about forging new connections. Imagine two people in their retirement. One settles into a very comfortable routine, the same TV shows, the same conversations, the same daily walk. The other decides, reluctantly at first, to take a community college class on local history. She has to drive to a new place, listen to a lecturer, take notes, maybe even struggle to learn a new idea. Her brain is firing on all cylinders. It's creating new pathways, connecting the history lesson to a memory from her own life, problem-solving how to organize the information. That struggle, that engagement is like weightlifting for your neurons. It makes the entire network denser, richer, more interconnected. The habit of lifelong learning doesn't mean you need to get another degree. It means regularly engaging in something that requires active focus and new thinking. It could be learning a new language on an app, taking up painting, mastering a new piece of music on an instrument, or even learning all the intricacies of a new board game with your grandchildren. You are quite literally building a bigger, more complex brain. When damage occurs, a brain that is rich with connections has countless alternative routes for information to travel. A brain that has settled into routine has fewer options. The habit is to never let your brain get too comfortable. Seek out the gentle, productive struggle of learning something new. This brings us to the fourth habit, one that is deeply connected to learning, but is its own powerful force: deep, restorative sleep. We often treat sleep as a luxury or an inconvenience. We burn the candle at both ends, thinking we're being productive. But for your brain, sleep is non-negotiable maintenance. Think of your brain's workday. All day long, as you think, feel, and experience the world, it's busy. And like any busy workshop, it produces waste, metabolic debris, including those beta-amyloid proteins linked to Alzheimer's. During deep, slow-wave sleep, something miraculous happens. The brain cells actually shrink a little, opening up the channels between them. And a system called the glymphatic system kicks into high gear, flushing all that toxic waste away. It's the brain's power wash. If you consistently shortchange your sleep, you are leaving that garbage to pile up night after night. Over years, that accumulation is thought to be a major contributor to the plaques and tangles of Alzheimer's. The habit of prioritizing sleep is one of the most direct forms of brain hygiene you can practice. It's about creating a rhythm, going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time, making your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet, putting screens away an hour before bed. This isn't about getting perfect sleep every single night. Life happens. It's about making 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep a non-negotiable priority most of the time. You are giving your brain its essential cleaning time. You are literally clearing the path for a healthier tomorrow. Now let's talk about a habit that might surprise you in its power: managing chronic stress. We all have stress. It's part of life, but it's the unrelenting, chronic, low-grade stress that's the problem. The kind that comes from a job you hate, a fraught family relationship, or constant financial worry. This type of stress keeps your body in a state of high alert, pumping out cortisol, the stress hormone. In small, acute doses, cortisol is fine. But a constant drip of cortisol is like acid on the brain. It specifically damages the hippocampus, which is the brain's central hub for memory and learning. It's one of the first areas attacked by Alzheimer's. A person living under chronic stress is essentially accelerating the wear and tear on the very machinery they need to remember their own life. The habit here isn't to eliminate all stress. That's impossible. The habit is to build in buffers. It's the practice of downshifting your nervous system on a regular basis. This looks different for everyone. For some, it's 20 minutes of meditation or deep breathing. For others, it's losing themselves in a hobby like gardening or knitting. It might be a daily walk in nature, where you aren't listening to a podcast, but just to the birds. It could be prayer, or journaling, or simply sitting with a cup of tea in silence. The point is to create daily oases of calm where your brain can step out of the fight or flight mode and into rest and repair mode. You are protecting your hippocampus. You are telling your body and brain that it's safe to stand down, even for a little while. This habit is as crucial as diet or exercise, because it stops the internal damage that stress is silently causing. The sixth habit moves us from the internal world to the external, cultivating strong social connections. Loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's a physiological state that is toxic to the brain. Humans are wired for connection. When we are socially engaged, our brain is active in complex ways, reading facial expressions, listening to tone of voice, navigating empathy, recalling shared stories. It's a full brain workout. But more than that, social connection acts as a buffer against stress. It gives our life meaning and purpose. Now, think about what often happens as people age. They retire and lose their work community. Friends move away or pass on. Family might be busy. It's easy to become isolated. And in that isolation, the brain gets less stimulation. Depression can creep in, which is itself a risk factor for cognitive decline. The habit of social connection means proactively tending to your relationships. It's making the phone call to an old friend. It's joining a book club, a bowling league, or a volunteer group. It's saying yes to the family dinner even when you're tired. For an older person, it might mean going to a senior center for lunch a few times a week. These aren't just social outings, they are brain-building exercises. Every conversation, every laugh, every shared memory strengthens your cognitive reserve. It gives you a reason to get up and get dressed in the morning. Purpose is powerful medicine. The habit is to treat your social life with the same importance as your physical health. Nurture it, invest in it, your brain depends on it. The seventh habit is about protecting the hardware, managing your heart health. Your brain is only about 2% of your body's weight, but it uses 20% of its blood flow. What's good for your heart is, almost without exception, good for your brain. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity. These aren't just numbers on a chart. They are conditions that damage the delicate blood vessels that feed your brain. They can cause tiny, silent strokes that chip away at your cognitive function, a condition known as vascular dementia, which often mixes with Alzheimer's. The habits we've already talked about, exercise, diet, sleep, stress management, all directly improve heart health. But the specific habit here is monitoring and management. It's knowing your numbers, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar. It's partnering with your doctor to keep them in a healthy range, which may involve medication. Think of it as routine maintenance for the pipeline that feeds your brain. A person who controls their high blood pressure in their 50s and 60s isn't just preventing a heart attack. They are protecting the very integrity of the blood vessels in their brain, ensuring a strong, now clean flow of nutrients for decades to come. This habit is the foundation upon which all the others stand. A healthy cardiovascular system is the delivery network for everything your brain needs to thrive. Finally, the eighth habit, protecting your head from injury. This one is straightforward but critical. A significant traumatic brain injury, like a concussion from a fall or an accident, can increase the risk of dementia later in life. The habit here is one of prevention and caution. It's wearing a seatbelt every single time. It's wearing a properly fitted helmet when you bike or ski or do any activity where a fall is possible. For older adults, it's making the home safe to prevent falls, removing loose rugs, installing grab bars in the bathroom, ensuring good lighting. It's doing balance exercises, like Tai Chi to stay steady on your feet. This habit is about respecting the physical fragility of the brain inside your skull. You are building cognitive reserve with all the other habits. This one is about making sure you don't accidentally wipe that reserve out in an instant. It's the habit of mindful protection. So, let's pull all of this together. You might be looking at these 8 habits and feeling overwhelmed. That's normal. But here's the deeper truth, the turning point in all of this. These habits don't work in isolation. They are a symphony. They reinforce each other in powerful ways. When you exercise, you sleep better. When you sleep better, you manage stress better. When you manage stress, you make better food choices. When you eat well, you have more energy to be social and to learn. It's a virtuous cycle. You don't have to be perfect at all 8 starting tomorrow. You just need to start nudging your life in this direction. Pick one. Maybe it's adding a daily walk. Maybe it's adding a serving of vegetables to your lunch. Maybe it's calling a friend every Sunday. Start where you are. The goal is progress, not perfection. Every positive choice adds another layer to your cognitive reserve, your brain's bucket. You are not just preventing something, you are building something. You are building a brain that is more resilient, more connected, and more vibrant for all the years to come. This is the transformation. It's moving from a mindset of fear and powerlessness to one of agency and hope. It's understanding that the story of your brain's health is being written every day in 1,000 small choices. It's realizing that the parent who starts walking with a friend is doing more than getting fresh air. They are forging social bonds and pumping healthy blood to their hippocampus. The person who chooses a salad is fighting inflammation. The one who finally signs up for that pottery class is weaving new neural networks. This knowledge changes everything. It turns the vague anxiety about the future into clear present-day action. You are no longer a passive passenger on the journey of aging. You have a map and a set of tools. You have agency. The most powerful thing you can do for your future self or for someone you love is to believe that these choices matter, because they do. The science is clear, and the time to start is now. Not out of fear of what might happen, but out of love for the life you want to live and the person you want to be for all the years to come. Knowledge is the light that makes the path forward visible. Next, I'm breaking down the 5 most common medication mistakes families make when caring for someone with dementia, mistakes that can worsen confusion and agitation. You don't want to miss this crucial guide to keeping your loved ones safe.